So I just want to say though, I think like Mike was saying though, with the 8 episodes, and just to give them the benefit of the doubt, I think this first season was kind of to see what
Test
kind of
waters?
audience they'll draw. Yeah, exactly. Will this work? A video game adaptation. Will this work? And is this game popular enough to draw the attention of not only the hardcore fans, but new fans? And then I feel like next season 2, will probably be like normal shows where it's like usually 10 to 12 episodes. And I feel like maybe the first 2 episodes is going to really tie up what you're talking about and explain more about the Wasteland, especially with this guy running off to start, which I didn't even know what that meant until Butchie told me that's basically leading into New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more explained in season 2, and this was more testing the waters and developing characters. Also good. I mean, I guess because I never played a game, I'm not looking at it as hard as you guys in that aspect.
I like the ending. I'll say that. I did like how it ended. It kind of gets you wanting something more, and like, okay, now this is. It seems like it's going like let's dive into it now.
Mm-hmm.
After the first season, I did feel that. So I did like the ending. I did like Lucy's arc. I know it's not fully death, but I did kind of like, she was innocent, didn't know any better, lived in this perfect world, and then like, oh crap, I don't live in a perfect world, and my dad was lying.
I will say this: that
he's a piece of shit.
It seems to be a trend of all the Fallout games as well. They're just like, oh, the Overseer's a piece of shit. Like in all the games, it's like the Overseer's a piece of shit. You'll find out at the end of the game that just like he's a piece of shit. Is he your father? Piece of shit. Is he your like adopted father? Piece of shit. Oh, look, he's your best friend. Piece of shit. Doesn't matter.
Well, the guy, I can't think of the name. That went into Vault 31 and got sucked there.
It's his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why. I played the game too. It's so freaking annoying that I can't remember any of this.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's another story arc in the next season, probably.
Well, they kind of alluded to it when the brother told. Remember when she was like, "Oh, why won't they go try to save Dad?" And he was like, "Because then they can't they can't take charge. They won't be in control." So like that kind of alluded to that. Overseers are just power hungry, corrupted. It's all there.
You don't even know. You don't even
I
know because they haven't explained it.
Well, that's fine. I'm gonna see. That's gonna keep me watching because now I'm intrigued, especially when you telling. There's so much more.
Well, like you get how, like in the show they say that the Overseers were like, oh, they're Vault Tech employees, right? For Vault, they come in from Vault 31, which is just the Vault Tech employees.
Mm-hmm.
The Vault Tech employees. That wasn't their only thing. Like they talked about it when they were having that meeting on just like all the experiments they'd carry out. It's like what would if you do this? What if you do this? Those are actually vaults. So like they did carry out with every idea they just spewed out.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like, oh, that's a nod to the video game. But these sound like ideas, and so are they going to explain them in season 2? That's actually happened? Is she gonna meet other vault dwellers besides like Vault 4? Because like in California, there's a shit ton of vaults. Like,
can I ask you something, Gerard?
What happened?
How much playtime does it take to get through these games?
Depends. Main story or
Yeah, main story.
I don't know, maybe like 2 days, 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, but how many hours?
Right.
Consecutive playtime. How many hours would you say? You say is it 20, 30 hours to get to the through the main storyline?
Okay, so it depends. Are we following the golden rule of the Wasteland? Number 1. You must always get absolutely sidetracked by bullshit.
Yeah.
However you want to do
We're
it.
just going straight.
If we're doing just straight shit, the game is like probably 15 to 20 hours. If we get there's so much side shit though.
Yeah,
that you will get sidetracked.
All right, so but
it's guaranteed.
15,
it's a
hours.
Bethesda game.
Let's just say 15, 20 hours to the main storyline. You're not gonna fit 15, 20 hours of storyline in an 8-hour show because really 8 episodes less than an hour.
But that's for a video game.
Yeah. No, I know because you got to play through it, but
yes, but the lore
to explain
for the
all
world,
that, and then you got to have the characters go through the world too. You got to kind of have it emulate playing a game in a sense.
Yes, but in the explanation of the world, you get that in the first hour in Fallout games. In the first hour, you get thrown like episode 1, 2, and 3 is the first hour in a Fallout game.
Okay.
So why didn't they explain ghouls in that time? They didn't explain anything that happened. Like we get the pre-war stuff. That's great because that's like literally the first shot in episode 1.
Yeah.
And we don't need to know about the war. Like in Fallout 1, they didn't talk about the war as much. They just talked about the survivors. We don't need that. That can be saved to a later plot. That was the first thing they talk about. And that is the only loose thread they finish on. That's why I'm bitter. That's why I'm bitter. All right. Let me stop.
Yeah.
We talked about the ending. We talked about the ending. Let's give our ratings from the beginning, the endings, resolutions.
Well, you're doing what?
I'm doing a 5 stars. Out of 5 stars.
Okay. As a show or as an adaptation?
I'm gonna bring it.
As is.
As is. Overall. I'll give it a flat 3. 3 out of 5 stars. Okay.
Okay.
3 out of 5 stars. It's a little bit better than average, but my niche is that the world, like the show itself, good enough. The video game, but like it leaves a lot of loose ends that I think could have been tucked away before season 2.
We get it.
No.
He's not letting that go.
No, I meant like. Okay, fine.
Oh
whatever.
boy, we don't need to know what you meant. We know what you meant.
Anyway,
well, my rating, I would.
Go ahead.
I give it a solid 3.5. Just, it was good, but I think it could have done better or could have been more, like Gerard said. But I give it a 3.5.
I guess I'm gonna give it the highest one. I mean, I give it a 4. Like I said, I just hearing Gerard's perspective is a little different from what I heard from Butchie, who was like, this was an incredible adaptation and was
they
really
hit a lot of good points. Like they have a lot from the game. They have.
Can you let me speak?
No. They have Jet. Okay, continue. I was just being a dick.
He's explaining. He said, they stuck to canon and stuff like that, and I personally just enjoyed the show as a show. Like I said, I didn't play the games. I felt the actors did a very good job, really drawing, me into their characters and who their characters are, the character development, stuff like that. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff to still be answered, which is cool. I get it. That's how it usually works with seasons of stories. And I feel like there's so many different ways they can go with it because of the games that they have to select from. So it's just a matter of, what direction they plan to go with. So I give it a 4 out of 5, like I said. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next season.
All right. Well, that's a 3 from me, 3.5 from Mike, and a 4 from GL. So, like, overall, I think we give it 3.5. We give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Which,
out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5, which is
That's
a good
like
showing.
A B+. It's like
I mean, like, yeah, compared to like the Halo series and like the other video game series. Well, I guess Last of Us was good, but a lot of people gripe with Last of Us that it's too exactly as the same as the video game.
That's what I heard too. That it's
like they didn't give extra, and I was like, "What do you want? What do you want?"
No, yeah, you get. It's kind of one of those things. You either you do it or you don't, and it's like, I already played the game. You gave me the same exact storyline. Well, what were they supposed to give you? Like,
it's like, did you want the game as a story, or did you want it? Yeah. And I guess
brought it to life for you.
I guess that's why people like Fallout, because it's like it's a unique storyline. I don't know if it's canon or not in the actual universe, because like these are supposed to lead into New Vegas, so we'll see how it is, because I think New Vegas happens during this time. That's the image, like a spoiler, yes. The image that Hank walks up to, like at the very like credit scene. Yep. That's showing the New Vegas Plaza. That's like what the New Vegas Plaza gets born there at that city.
You know what you can answer for me, because it was curious throughout the first season.
Curious?
Yeah, I'm just really curious about it. What made them design those mechs and stuff? And did that happen before the bombs or not?
I'm gonna let you know. This is the universe where we've like actually solved fusion technology, but we're still in the Cold War with the Russians, and we are still using like heavily fossil fuels. So, this becomes a point where like, oh, we become so sophisticated, we have like nuclear technology, but like we're still in a Cold War, so like nuclear armaments are like we building up, and just because of those two things, we get to like a highly advanced like America and Russia and things like that is still in the 70s somehow, because they just never learned like that the problems that we were facing. We never made a switch to like hard plastics and stuff. So you get this weird pre-Cold War era with highly sophisticated things like the Misty Handy robot you saw, and the like fucking plasma pistols and cold fusion. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. A very advanced pre-war thing. That's the reason that makes it so important, because like, oh, this is the reason why the world ended. That's what the Great War was. It was the Cold War actually closing off because of resources.
I hope you know you didn't answer my fucking question.
What was you said? You said
I said the mechs, the
T-45.
This guy was in.
The T-45, the T-60. He was in the T-60, which is made because of they had nuclear fusion cores. They were like advanced, technologically advanced.
No, all right, I get that, but were they using that to fight against each other, kind of deal?
Yes,
like,
that was pre-war.
Okay. That's what
they all existed before the Great War happened. Like Cooper said it, he was fighting in Alaska with the T-45.
Yep.
Because Alaska happens to be a large oil rig central place. That's why Russia was trying to fight it.
Okay. All right. So
I think that's mentioned in the show about resources. Maybe. The reason why. It's one of those like tiny snippets that were coming from the newscasters on the TVs. Thank you for watching this episode of the Part-Time Gamers podcast. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And follow us on our other social platforms on TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. Links for those will be provided in the description. Thank you again. We will see you on the next episode of the podcast. And make sure you make some time for video games.